What is up, guys? Jake back again from Popical Productions. Today, bringing you another short form battle report. And today, the forces of my Tau Empire are facing off against the forces of the Orcs in a weird point. We'll go over it in the list. About little over 1,500, little under 1,600 point game. Um, Yeah, let's get into it. Just background for this picture. Those are my two transports that I've been using in my list lately. And then my long strike hammerhead that I've had to proxy because my third devilfish has not come in the mail yet. Yeah, you can look at my subpar modeling slash painting skills. So yeah, there they are with their cowboy hats. Okay, so for my army, I brought, and some of it's out of frame. I've also had to make a sacrifice for the way the pictures are with the cropping, similar to last video. Um, we'll go over what's out of frame. 2 units of stealth suits, one with 4 stealth suits in it, one with 3 stealth suits in it. I have 2 commanders, 2 devilfish, 2 squads of 10 breachers, 1 squad of 5 breachers, a unit of 4 vespid, and I believe it's 2 cadra fireblade what I brought, and then a unit of 4 excuse me, 4 broadsides. And I modified my old list, very similar to the list in the last video if you watched that. He didn't have 2,000 points, even though we agreed to meet up with that, which I was okay with, totally chill with. So I just kind of cut down my list a bit, like I dropped the third commander. Both commanders have fusion, by the way. And I'm doing 2 detachments now. I dropped Farsight Enclaves, and I made one that had, like, used to be the Farsight Enclaves Patrol, is now the missile one where it gives all missiles +1 AP. So basically, my high yield missile pods on my broadsides are now -3 AP, and the smart missiles are -2 because the ATS. Um, yeah, and then I turned the Viorla detachment into a patrol instead of a battalion because I dropped 1 troop option and 1 devilfish option. So actually, I have all the right devilfish in this video. I have like the right number of them, and you can see them there on my Codex. All right, so for my opponent's army, also his deployment. As you can see, he's kind of playing a ragtag orc list here. I think he just got into orcs and is kind of building them up. On the right here, you can see he has his warlord, his war boss in the middle is that metal model. Um, right there. Oh yeah, there's my mouse. Right there. Perfect. And then he's got a unit of 10 boys right here, just kind of over in this table quarter. And then he's got a unit of 10 orc commandos right here. He's got a scrapjet, I believe it is, right here on this objective. And I think we were playing the raise mission. So it was hold 2, or hold 1, hold 2 for your primary objectives, and the secondary was like dumb. It was like you have to get into your opponent's deployment zone and like burn one of their objectives, but it basically takes 2 turns and no shooting, or well, 2 turns to do it. Obviously, none of us took it. All right, oops, pardon me. So in this ruin here, he has some Gretchen. On the second floor, he's got some tank busters, and on the third floor, you can see their bases right there. Some sort of shooter boys. I'm not really familiar with orcs. Like I said, it's been a while since I've played. And then on the bottom floor, he has a orc sorcerer. I forgot what they're called, like a weird boy or something. And he has like a proxied like truck. It's the truck where it's like if it's toughness 8 and only toughness 8 weapons can shoot at it without like a damage reduction. So of some sort. It has like yeah that rule, and it has 10 beast naga boys in it. I also think he has 10 more beast naga boys on the bottom floor here. Um, yeah, and then he has this scrapjet, or I don't know what this is, like a squig buggy, I think it was, holding this objective. 3 of the new squig riders over here, and then in this ruin he has like the invuln character. Uh, he's the invuln character, like orc character, and I think he has 10 more beast naga boys in this ruin, if I'm not mistaken. And he also has a beast naga mob, which I believe is actually over here, under here. Like that's his axe peeking out. Forgot to mention that. Beast Snaga the knob. Whoops. Didn't know how I did that. It's wild. Spoilers. Okay, so my deployment, I'm on the other side. My two objectives are here, and the two middle objectives are like right up this side and right over here. So the one with his warlord is like this table quarter over here. His warlord's down that way. That was the first slide I showed you, and the second one I showed you is over here. And then I got this big piece of terrain. I got Cadre Fireblade up here, one Cadre Fireblade with a drone in here with 10 breachers, and then 10 breachers in here with 2 drones. My Vespid are in Deep Strike. Got my Viorla commander right here. My commander in the missile, I'm going to call it the missile detachment, the like high damage rockets right here. And then the misplay of the freaking sentry, I put my stealth suits just kind of right here behind this terrain. We did everything in ruins, so they're obscuring. So they're like obscured, but still, and then my missile side's kind of peeking out right here. And that's kind of the end of it. And then I put 10 fire warriors here because I didn't want them to get shot in before I could start scoring my secondaries. So before we go over the game, we can kind of look at what secondaries we took. I didn't look up his secondary names, but basically get the good bits. He basically says stand on 2 objectives and or 3 and complete actions each turn. And I think each objective he completes is like 3 points. He picked 2 in his deployment or like on his deployment line. Where actually I went and read the objective. I don't think you're allowed to do that. I think you're supposed to pick them in the middle, but what he's like I said, new to it, new Codex. So whatever. Yeah, he was able to score that, and I'm okay with it because I picked one in my deployment zone that or on my deployment line because I get to pick one. The biggest and the best. His warlord has to do a bunch of actions, and then Green Tide, which is engage on all fronts, but for orcs. Now he was a really generous opponent. He should have done it the way where because in Green Tide you can pick how the table split into force, and there's a way where you can just basically stay in your deployment zone and max it. But he did it in the way engage on all fronts did it. He kind of mirrored me, and I think he just wanted a more fair game. I think in hindsight he would have done it, but yeah, I picked engage on all fronts, retrieve Octarius data, and to the last being my broadsides and my 2 commanders, because I didn't really have a choice there. It's not like I had a 3rd commander, which I usually get the choice to pick, but yeah. So you can see again, there's the deployment zone. Yeah, the Beast Snaggle boys are up there on the right, and my broadsides are kind of back this way. And he wins the war off for first turn, so this is kind of his deployment. Oh, he does pop a stratagem to move some stuff around, so he jumps the commandos over here, and he jumps his truck over on this side. So yeah, first turn movement. Sorry for the blurry pictures. His weird boy comes over here. His scrapjet and truck move over this way. His knob that was right here that I was talking about, and his warlord move over here, and these boys kind of stay here. He does the action with these 2 guys. They start the action to get the like the loot, and he keeps his Gretchen and all his firepower over there. On the right, these Squig Riders move up, and these Beast Snaggle boys kind of just shift over this way behind the Squig Buggy, and the Invuln character just stays there. Yep. So he uses the jump from these orcs over here to bring them over this side on my right and kind of stack up a threat in the psychic phase. And then in the shooting phase, his just kind of combined fire from this guy kind of knocked this guy, plus some of the orcs up here, his tank busters, knocked this guy's down to 3 wounds, this devilfish. And this one, I think he puts maybe 1 wound on it, and that's about it. Oops. Charges. He kind of made a movement error. He couldn't really make any charges. He only did like a 12-inch one here, which he failed. Also on this turn, he popped Wah, which wasn't like he later said was a mistake. And I said, oh, you can pop it like on a turn later and like let you have it again, because like he didn't really get a chance to use it. Like it's almost like it never happened, because I think he only tried to make 1 charge, and he was like, no, it's okay. So yet again, really good sportsmanship move. My movement, I move up over here. I disembark. I move these stealth suits over here. These stealth suits to move block along with these breachers over here. I keep this wounded devilfish on this objective, and these 5 guys move out. These guys kind of shift around this way to get line of sight on this truck, which was a shooting error. I probably should have wiped some crap on this side of the board. In hindsight, this transport moves up to block for these 2 commanders, who are going to make a play at killing his warlord and his knob. The warlord's key because it's one of his secondaries. If I kill it, he scores nothing on it. Yeah. So shooting, I shot over here, did 8 wounds, and it has 16, so did half wounds. That was dumb. Probably should have wiped up this side of the board, maybe denied more secondaries. I waited for my commanders to get free to shoot this because they're far more efficient. They actually shouldn't have got out of their devilfish. They probably should have stayed in the devilfish over here, and they ended up shooting at that. So I made a big error on this side of the board. Killed the knob with one of my commanders. Second commander whiffed and left 2 wounds on him. But I was pretty happy with that, but these commanders are kind of in trouble. I was sweating a little bit here. These guys double shot, killed the knobs, and we thinned some of these boys down. So, primary, obviously none of us are first turn complete. Primary, obviously none of us score any primaries. I did one of the Retrieve Octarius data. Actually, I made a error at this. It's actually supposed to be 6 points on get the good bits, but yeah, he got 6 points. So awesome. I think I fixed it in the next one, but if not, well. Okay, so his movement, his orc commander moves over here. These guys just kind of stay the same. These guys stay the same to complete that action again. This truck moves around this way, and these boys get ready to make a charge on these fire warriors. So, psychic phase, I don't think anything happens. I think that's what this is. Maybe a little bit of shooting phase. I think these guys kind of put some wounds over here, and as well as some of the shooting kind of across the board. Put some wounds around. Or no, maybe this is shooting phase. Yeah, sorry. This guy shoots, kills this thing. He gets like another wound scratched onto him. So, yeah. Charge phase. Or this is actually my movement. Yep, movement, I believe. But during the charge phase, basically, he charges his war boss over here, gets killed in Overwatch. These guys charge. I think they lose like 1 or 2 guys in Overwatch. Charge, but then basically just wipe all this up except for 1 stealth suit. Now, this is where I might have made a rules error myself. I moved the stealth suit up to help me get engaged along with this devilfish on my second turn. I keep these stealth suits here. Oh yeah, and they obviously just absolutely destroy these fire warriors that were right here, and actually put a couple wounds on these stealth suits. This was the unit of 4, so there's 1 left, and this is the unit of 2, so he did 3 wounds to it, putting 1 guy on 1. You can see it right there. My commanders moved over here just to kind of support this side. I really wanted them to blow this up, and I just, security reasons. Like I said, really probably should have shot at this. Last turn, and kind of wiped away some of these bodies with my missile sides because they're kind of more anti-horde, and kept these commanders over here to kind of keep using their anti-tank weapons, but you live and you learn. So, yeah, whoops, okay. I guess I'm really messing up with the pictures, but yeah, during the shooting, basically, I kill all this, and I blow up the truck, is what I do during shooting. This is where I think I made a rules error. He fell back. I'm not sure if he can score rod, but we said he could. We decided that he could fall back and score rod, but we should have probably looked it up and consulted it, but I don't think he can. So yeah. End of my turn, yep, I fixed it here. We both get 10 for primaries, because we were both on 2, and we both tied each other. Looking at our turns. Engage all fronts, I get 3 points, didn't get any of my first. I probably cheated, but completed half of Rod. And then get the good bits, he's got 12. And biggest and the best, now there's Warlord's dead, I can safely say 0. Let's go that as 0. So his turn, he moves this guy over. And this is, you can see of what I wiped. He moves this rocket jet over here to try to blow up this transport, prevent me from scoring Rod. He moves, or not Rod, Engage. He moves this guy over here to kind of put some pressure on these broadsides. These orc boys are coming over here to get me off this objective. Really good move. Puts me on 1 objective. And I'm losing my board control very quickly. So, yeah, shooting, he wipes out this devilfish. Nothing really changes. Charging, he charges these guys. This is kind of the charge phase. And yeah, basically kills these guys, kills the stealth suits because he charges off of that objective. Because he doesn't really need it anymore. And then this guy charges over here and puts 3 wounds on a broadside. And then shooting, I think, from his tank busters helped destroy this and kind of go where it needed to. Alright. I think I put this in the wrong spot. Yeah, okay. We'll go back to it. So, or no. Yeah, during my turn, I think I fall back. My 2 commanders absolutely wipe this thing. I call Monka so they can shoot. and I'm fairly certain they wiped this off the board. So yeah, and I also drop in Vespid up here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I dropped in Vespid up here. Oh, and I also brought the Kroot character. I think he stayed on the list, so he went up that way, and to get me engage again. Whoops. Okay, so yes, that explains this. Oh man, I'm having all sorts of problems. Excuse me. Engage on all fronts. I get 6. I got 5 for primary. He got 10 because he was on multiple objectives, and he knocked me down to 1. He maxed the objective one because he had that unit in the back scoring. And then Rod, I got 3 for 4 because I think my breacher's down in the or no, my Vespa dropped it and got it in the top left corner. And Green Tide, he got 2 points because he was in 3 of those zones. Yeah, as you can see here, these guys moved back. You can kind of see an updated there. The Vespid, the Kroot was over there. During my shooting phase, I killed that and these, and I whittled away at the Gretchen. So during his last phase, he did jumps. These tank buses up here to kind of make a move. He pulls this rocket jet over here, and these guys are kind of over here. And then he moves these orc cans up here. He kills a bunch of drones, and then after that shooting phase, he doesn't decide to charge. And on the top of his turn 4, with me behind 2 turns behind to act, and he only has 1 left, he decides to resign. And we kind of talked through it. So realistically, I would blow up this scrapjet. I'm getting engaged because I still have my 2 Cadre Fireblades. He jumped out at one point and was just throwing marker lights around. I still get engaged. On my next turn, I only get 5 for primary because I'm only on 1 objective. But on my last turn, I'd swing the 15 because I have 2 cold stars kind of running around. I have all 3 of my last 10. I'll show you the estimated score in a second. But on my next turn, I know I have the firepower to blow all this up and kill all this. These guys would probably wipe these 2 out, and then these guys would kind of probably shift over here, get this objective, blow them up, and then basically last turn I would probably shoot at some of the stuff back here, maybe shoot at boys and stuff like that, just kind of control it, and yeah, I would score engage on all turns because he's over on this side, there in this table half, Kroot characters up there, and these guys are over here. So yeah, estimated score, like I said, and this also has the paint on it. I just gave us the 10 points because I like to play, even though we both really weren't painted. So I guess if you wanted to take those out, you could. It'd be 74 to 55. But yeah, you can see the primary. Yellow are what's not happened. So everything in black was physically scored. And everything in yellow would be scored in these 3 turns, or 3 player turns we lost. So being my my 4th turn, his 5th, and my 5th. I guesstimated I would get 15 plus 6, and that's what this whole score is total. I think he was actually ahead on points if you add it up. I think add up all the black numbers. I think he is ahead on points, and then yellow is what I kind of added in on there. Because yeah, he scored Green Tide, but then with my shooting, I would have wiped him out. To the last, I estimated I would score 15 and max that out. Rod, I would assume I max that out, which I believe is 12, and then engage, I already had 2 turns of the 3, and I get another 6 for my 4th and 5th turn. I wouldn't imagine he'd be able to shift me out of those corners, and if he did, I could just send a cold star up there because they move 40. Yeah, and then I assumed I would be able to, also with the extreme cold star movement, be able to get on 3 objectives and keep them off a 3rd objective, so I'd be able to get the primary at the bottom of my 2nd turn because I did have that advantage going for me. But I don't really know if I'd be able to get him off of his primary at the top of 5, even with my shooting. I have to shoot what's in my quarter, so he'd still be on those objectives. So he'd get all his 10 primary points. So he did really well on the primary, really well on board control. You can see my primary kind of suffered a bit. The only thing that saved me was those 2 points. But yeah, great game, really nice opponent. Sorry about the kind of technological difficulties. I made a PowerPoint, is what this is. And yeah, this is the closing slide, just kind of another mini painted a close-up of one of my devilfish. But yeah, I did a PowerPoint, and I'm using like new headphones to make the audio sound better. And I'm using a PowerPoint so I can just kind of click through the pictures as opposed to the old way I did it. Required a lot of editing and kind of came out a little crappy. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.